Hello viewers, this is PowerWad1 coming at you with another countdown. Now I'll admit, I didn't think I was going to be making another video game related countdown. However, I realized that there was still one more that needed to be done. Let's face it, with all the great heroes in video games, we tend to overlook and forget about the ones standing behind them. That's right, I'm talking about the sidekicks, the companions, the ones that tend to get stuck living in the shadow of the hero. Well, now I'm here to pull them out from those shadows, to give them the recognition they deserve. Same drill as always, I'll be judging them by things such as backstory and personality and so on. So without further introduction, here's my list of the top 5 video games sidekicks. First up, in the number 5 spot is that lovable little monkey in the red hat and shirt, Diddy Kong. Monkeys make awesome sidekicks. This is a non-debatable fact. Diddy Kong is Donkey Kong's buddy, nephew, and companion who has gone on countless adventures. Diddy is a creation of the British company Rare Ltd. However, he has a Nintendo logo on his trademarked red hat because Nintendo owned Rare and the rights to the Donkey Kong franchise at the time. The name Diddy is a slang word used in some parts of northern England for small, as Diddy is. Diddy Kong has gained himself something of a fan following for his peanut popgun firing antics, leading him to star in his own spin-off, Diddy Kong Racing, and securing him appearances in Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Mario Power Tennis. Diddy's a great example of a sidekick done well, partially because annoying one-liners are replaced with his cheeky primate jitters. Diddy Kong first appears in Donkey Kong Country as the co-star of the video game with Donkey Kong. In almost every appearance he makes, Diddy Kong has been shown to be very quick and nimble. In many games he has appeared in, such as Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong 64, he is able to use his cartwheel trick to attack opponents. In some games, Diddy Kong can also use his jetpack to fly to hard-to-reach areas. However, in Donkey Kong 64, this jetpack is only given to him after entering Kong Barrel, and it can only be used in certain areas. During the time Diddy Kong uses his jetpack, he is also equipped with peanut pop guns, which allow him to defeat or stun distant enemies and activate switches. And he has used those pop guns to blast his way into the 5th spot on this list. Flying in to the 4th spot on this list is the two-tailed fox, Tails. Miles Prower, better known by his nickname Tails, is an anthropomorphic fox and one of the main characters of the Sonic the Hedgehog series released by Sega. The name Miles Prower is a pun on Miles per hour, a reference to the famed speed of Sonic the Hedgehog. He is an 8-year-old yellow-orange fox with 2 tails, hence his nickname. He is known to be Sonic's best friend, sidekick, and an expert mechanic. He is able to use his 2 tails to travel at super speed as well as propel himself in the air like a helicopter. His debut was on the 16th of October in 1992, where he was introduced in the 8-bit version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Players of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 will remember the option to play as Sonic and Tails at the same time, with player 2 being able to control the two-tailed fox. However, this player was just as doomed to that sidekick moniker as the character they played as. When Sonic blitzed his way through the level and left Tails struggling to catch up, literally disappearing off screen, only to hear the grim sound of their own unseen demise. On the other hand, there was the whole flying thing. Able to lift Sonic and carry him over the deadly chasms for a short period of time, he became invaluable on cliff-riddled levels such as the Hilltop Zone. Also to his credit, Tails is something of a mechanical prodigy, engineering a biplane that allowed him and Sonic to chase after Dr. Eggman's winged fortress. Heck, he even took a missile shot and managed to land the plane. That takes a heck of a lot of skill. Say what you may about Tails, but he's certainly proven himself to be a sidekick of many uses. Tails is a kind, sweet-natured, and loyal young fox with a positive attitude and always willing to help out whenever he can. He was initially timid and shy when he had first met Sonic, but he has slowly opened up and became more outgoing over the years. One of Tails' most defining traits is his love for mechanics, which he is extremely talented with, and usually finds himself at home in his workshop where he is working on his next creation. Despite his skills, Tails is very humble about his abilities, never giving much thought into his skills. At the time of Sonic Lost World, Tails has become more outspoken about his intelligence, though he still does not openly brag. Tails is the third most popular character of the series behind Sonic and Shadow, according to official polls. But for my list of the 5 greatest gaming sidekicks, he's my number 4. The sidekick to make it into the 3rd spot on my list is the Princess of the Twilight Realm, Midna. Sure, throughout the series, Link has had many different sidekicks, but most of them, for instance, Navi, the fairy from Ocarina of Time, were intolerably irritating, enough to make you scream. Why couldn't Ganondorf have swiped her instead of Zelda? Needless to say, Navi required a replacement by the time of the release of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, specifically one who wouldn't drive the gamer to bloody murder. Enter Midna, a diminutive imp like Twilight, who has it in her to give Link all the best advice without becoming so infuriating that you're desperately seeking an electric fly swatter. Better still, completion of the main game allows players to see Midna in her glorious true form. Midna is one of the Twilight, a race descended from the wielders of powerful and evil magic, who were banished to an alternate dimension by the goddesses. This alternate dimension, out of which the sublimated descendants could only live as shadows, eventually became known as the Twilight Realm. Prior to the events of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, one of the Twilight named Xant overthrew Midna from her throne and placed a curse on her, giving her the imp form that she maintains for most of the game, and depriving her of the magic powers that are granted to the leader of the Twilight. Midna then leaves the Twilight Realm and witnesses Link as a wolf being taken away by a Shadow Beast. Knowing the Twilight legend that the hero would appear as a divine beast, Midna follows Link to his prison cell in the Castle Town sewers and tells him she'll help him escape if Link does exactly as he's told. While at first Midna is a bit secretive on her agenda and doesn't care too much for the land of Hyrule, after seeing the unselfish acts made by Zelda and Link, Midna has a change of heart and vows to help save Hyrule from Xant. From then on, Link and Midna maintain a strong friendship, and she is far more kind to him. Towards the end of the game, Midna sacrifices herself as a last desperate attempt to kill Ganondorf, sending Link and Zelda to safety. She appears to be defeated, however, and Link mourns her death after killing Ganondorf. Shortly after the Light Spirits restore her, and with Ganondorf's power lifted, she is in her true form. Noticing Link's surprise, she jokingly says to him, "Am I so beautiful that you have no words left?" Somewhat of a fourth wall jab at Link being a silent character. Midna's function in the game is like that of Link's previous companions. She helps the player learn the controls for the game and often gives Link hints on what to do or where to go next. When Link is a wolf, Midna will ride on top of him and be able to create an energy field to help the young hero lock onto enemies and defeat them easily. She can also help Link jump further to reach otherwise inaccessible platforms. She's small but dangerous. She's my number 3. Making her way into the 2nd spot on this list is the Shadow Siren, Vivian. Vivian is a major character in Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, who originally worked as a member of the villainous Shadow Sirens alongside her sisters, Beldam and Marilyn. However, Vivian later defects from the Shadow Sirens and joins Mario as his fifth party member. Although she suffers from an inferiority complex throughout the events of the game, Vivian's character develops as she learns to respect herself. Vivian's first appearance in the game is during the interlude following Chapter 1, during which she and her two sisters are sent by Sir Grotus to ambush Mario in the Boggy Woods. When Mario arrives there, however, he learns that the picture they were to use to identify him was misplaced by Beldam, who is quick to blame Vivian for the loss. This, of course, allows Mario to slip by that time unnoticed. Mario is later forced to battle the sisters, however, when he comes to claim Flurry's necklace, which Vivian had found in the woods. Upon their defeat, she departs with Marilyn and Beldam, leaving the necklace behind. After Mario's name and body are stolen by Dupless, Vivian appears in Twilight Town alongside her sisters, who plan to defeat Mario using a super bomb-bomb. When the weapon turns up missing, however, Vivian is once again blamed and left to search for it. When Mario finds the bomb and returns it to her, it turns out to be broken, but she thanks him nonetheless for his help, and after learning of the theft of his identity, resolves to return the favor by helping him, unaware that he is Mario. Using her powers, Mario eventually learns Dupless's real name, and the duo corners him at the top of Creepy Steeple. Upon learning of the plumber's true identity, Vivian is reluctant to assist in the ensuing battle, though she returns to his side after 3 turns, having decided that he treats her better than her sisters and is more deserving of her help. Following Dupless's defeat, Mario stands up for Vivian when she is questioned by his other partners. She ultimately thanks him by handing him the Crystal Star and thus joins the team. Outside of battle, Vivian possesses the ability to literally pull Mario into the shadows, where they can hide and nothing can get them. This allows them to get past objects that move over them and avoid sight from enemies and their attacks. Vivian also possesses the strongest magic of any partner in the game. With her charm and sweet attitude, Vivian is easily my number 2. My number 1 is the half-elven boy, the master of magic, Genis Sage. Genis Sage is one of the characters from Tales of Symphonia. Genis is the 14-year-old friend of the main character, Lloyd Irvin. He is the younger brother of Rain Sage and a prodigy in academics and magic. Although at first Genis seems somewhat off-putting and sarcastic, he can be one of the group's most mature members. Though he is often a bit of a coward, Genis can be very strong at times. When he was born, his family was being chased by the Elemental Research Laboratory in Cybeck because of his sister's astonishing intelligence for such a young age. About the time he was born, Genis and Rain were abandoned at the otherworldly gate by their mother in a last-ditch effort to save them from the half-elf persecution by transporting them to Silverhorn. The two later came to reside in the village of Asalia by passing themselves off as pure-blood elves. As a result of the heavy persecution directed towards half-elves like himself, Genis expresses a dislike of humans later in the game. He is very intelligent like his sister Rain, but unlike her, he is a superb cook, whose skills are rivaled only by those of Regal. When he was of proper age, Genis attended the Asalia schoolhouse, where he met Lloyd Irving and Colette Brunel. Despite the differences in their ages and academic ability, the three became friends. Genis looked up to Lloyd as he was strong, bold, and brave, the ideal role model in Genis's eyes. As a result of feeling that he lacked these qualities, Genis developed a bit of an inferiority complex, which he compensated for by ridiculing Lloyd whenever he made an academic mistake. Genis's intelligence is demonstrated more than once in the game, from an incident on the Oza Trail to an academic competition at the Palma Costa Academy. Since he is a half-elf, he is sensitive to the amount of mana in the air, and is easily able to gauge how much of it there is. Lloyd and Genus have been best friends since the day they met. Genus often pokes fun at Lloyd for not being as academically gifted, but Genus genuinely admires his courage and straightforward way of thinking. It is because of Lloyd that Genus realized that not all humans are spiteful and cruel. With all that said, Genus is obviously deserving of the #1 spot on this list, the greatest sidekick to exist in video game history. Well, that's it, my top 5. You can tell me what you think of my selection in the comments below. Also, feel free to check out some of my other videos. And if you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. This is PowerWild1, signing off.